Today I'm going to show you the 2006 action-adventure film Apocalypto. The story takes place in the 16th century, specifically in South America's Amazon jungle. Hunters chase a tapir through their traps, but it dodges them, running frantically until it makes a trip. A swinging branch full of spikes impales the beast. Flint Sky leads the group, while his youngest son Jaguar puts the tapir out of its misery and eagerly divides its internal organs between his fellow hunters. Jaguar distributes the tapir's heart to Curled Nose, Smoke Frog and Cocoa Leaf. All of them get an equal share. Jaguar tricks his elder brother, Blunted, into eating the tapir's testicles, claiming it would make him fertile, but quickly vomits them after one bite. Father Flint Sky offers Blunted some remedial help, the red leaves that he instructs him to use the next time he and his wife try. A band of refugees passing through the forest interrupts the party. They all look weary and scared. When Jaguar asks what they want, the fisherman informs them about the attack and destruction of their village, as well as their quest for a fresh beginning. Despite Jaguar's desire to ask further questions, Flint Sky stops him and allows the refugees to pass through. Jaguar, with worry etched on his face, watches intently as they go. On their journey back to the village, Flint Sky explains to his son that the refugees were infected with fear and should not be brought into the village. Jaguar goes to his hut and admires his small son Turtles before greeting his very pregnant wife, 7. Blunted returns to his wife, Sky Flower, whose mother impatiently tells him to hurry and give her grandchildren. Moments after entering their hut, Blunted runs out screaming and holding his privates before seating himself in a water trough. Flint Sky falls to the ground laughing, as the leaves he gave Blunted were meant to cause a burning sensation when rubbed gently. Blunted yells at him but starts laughing with everyone else. That night the villagers play music, dance, and drink, but the forest incident continues to occupy the young blood's mind. However, 7 brings him back to reality, but when dawn breaks, the tribe's fate takes a sinister twist. As everyone is still asleep, a stealthy group of Mayan warriors silently infiltrates the forest, encircling the entire settlement in a chilling display of secrecy and impending danger. Jaguar wakes up from a terrifying dream only to find men with fire torches trying to sneak into the huts to kidnap his people. The chaos ensues as everyone tries to escape and fight the attackers. Jaguar takes his wife and son and hides them in a hole over 20 feet deep while the village burns behind him. When a warrior attacks Jaguar, he defends himself while simultaneously ensuring the safety of his wife and the child whom he has placed in the hole. He instructs them to wait for him as he retreats back into the village, only to find it irreparably destroyed with huts in flames. Several tribemates are dying from their injuries and others being restrained. Once Jaguar notices his father fighting with a warrior named Middle Eye, he quickly intervenes and strikes him. However, when Jaguar is about to defeat Middle Eye, Zero Wolf, the leader of the Mayan warriors, intervenes and throws Jaguar to the ground. Flint Sky tells his son not to be afraid as Middle Eye slits his throat. The raiders tie up the surviving captives and attach them to one another. One of the fighters, Snake Inc., notices that Jaguar is looking towards the hole and proceeds to investigate. He grows suspicious of the loosely suspended rope in the hole and cuts it. They led the captives into the forest, leaving the children in a ruined village. The fierce-looking leader of the raiders, Zero Wolf, reunites with his son, Rock, who has suffered a bruising blow to his head causing his eye to swell shut. Zero Wolf cuts a few lines to release blood pressure, allowing his son to see again. Rock's group has captured the refugees they saw the day before. That night as they camp, Zero Wolf gives his son a large dagger that he says has killed many men. It is a sign of good fortune and manhood as proven by its successful raid. Blunted laments and promises to take as many captors with him to the depths of hell. If he does not find his cherished Skyflower there, it's going to be more absurd to him. They find themselves walking along a narrow path on a cliff in the morning. Cocoa Leaf, who is severely injured, loses his footing and sleeps over the edge. Jaguar and the others were able to pull him back onto the path and regain their footing. This only makes Middle Eye very angry at them. He cuts Cocoa Leaf free of his bindings and shoves him over the cliffside. Zero Wolf berates him for losing one of their captives, but Middle Eye claims he was only dead weight. Wolf stops Middle Eye before he can argue further. He warns him of dire consequences if he repeats his actions before walking behind Jaguar, referring to him as Almost. The party passes through a deforested area where villagers lay dead, decimated by a plague. A small girl, sickened with sores on her face and hands, approaches the group looking at Snake Inc. and prophesies their doom. A man will be reborn from mud and the earth will bring the darkness of the day and a jaguar which will scratch you out. She also claims that this man is among them. The party moves on as the girl continues calling them. They enter the metropolis where laborers are working in difficult, demanding conditions and the surplus whitens the limestone before swiftly coating the buildings. They separate the female captives from the males and sell them to the highest bidder. They paint the men blue and lead them to the top of a step pyramid. Blunted watches as the auction rejects his mother-in-law due to her age. They lead the group through a tunnel revealing pictures of human sacrifices on the walls. They toss the victims' heads down the steps and gather them in baskets at the bottom. Jaguar witnesses the first captive sacrifice with his heart torn out. The same fate awaits Jaguar as he is carried to the sacrificial pedestal. He appears to accept his fate, but suddenly the high priest stops due to a solar eclipse. The priest orders Zero Wolf to get rid of all the captives. They take Jaguar and the others to an arena, instructing them to sprint across the field and head towards the forest. They promise freedom to anyone who makes it. Wolf selects Rock as the finisher, who then sprints ahead to the arena's end, revealing that the captives will serve as practice targets. Blunted and Smoking Frogs are the first to start running. Following Blunted spearing in the lower back, a large stone strikes Smoking Frog before Rock finishes him off. Middle Eye instructs Jaguar and his associate to run to the court. Though they evade most of the arrows, the refugee is shot through the head by a Zero Wolf, and Jaguar gets pierced through his side, falling near his brother. Before getting finished, Blunted grabs the finisher's leg, allowing Jaguar to kill him with an arrowhead in the neck. As Zero Wolf's son tumbles to the ground, Jaguar stands, removes the arrow shaft from his side and runs into the cornfield. He runs to his son, but Rock dies shortly in his arms. Zero Wolf takes back his dagger and starts running after Jaguar for revenge. His fighters also accompany him into the cornfield. Jaguar runs across the decaying body site and into the jungle, where he climbs a tree and hides bleeding from his open wound. The hunters run past beneath him and he turns to see a black jaguar cub growling at him. Jaguar hears a louder roar behind him, pivots and comes face to face with the threatening mother jaguar. The fighters suddenly halted their chase after realizing they had lost him. One of them notices blood on Middle Eye's shoulder, and they backtrack, keeping their eyes on the trees. Soon they see Jaguar running through the forest towards them. The big cat pursues Jaguar, but it attacks Speaking Wind as their paths intersect. A savage encounter with the jaguar extinguishes his life before the others arrive to kill it. One dislikes the bad omen associated with killing a big cat, while Snake Inc. recalls the strange child's prophecy and reminds them that it was foretold. Zero Wolf silences both of them, ordering them to find the jaguar and kill him. The frontierman spots Jaguar's blue paint on the tree, but a venomous snake strikes him in the neck. They advise him to open his blood flow in order to hasten his death. The fighters eventually corner Jaguar, forcing him to jump over the edge of a high waterfall. He survives and stands tall on the riverbank, his voice resounding as he proclaims that this forest belongs to him and that his descendants will forever hunt in it. Zero Wolf, brimming with impatience, stabs his fighter when he suggests climbing down rather than jumping. All jump, but some die when they hit their heads on submerged rocks, while others are luckier and continue their pursuit. As Jaguar runs, he lands in a muddy sinkhole but manages to climb out. After he does so, he pauses and decides that he is not afraid and will no longer run as the chasers approach. Jaguar is covered in black mud, confront them and toss them alive. Wasps swarm towards them, prompting the wasps to launch an attack. Jaguar runs towards the hole where he finds a poisonous frog and collects its venom on a few large thorns. He runs in a circle and hides in the reeds, waiting for the raiders. As thunder rolls overhead, his wife attempts to escape the cistern by tossing a stalactite to the surface with the rope attached. She manages to climb halfway, but the rock dislodges, causing her to fall. Though she is barely hurt, her water breaks from the trauma. As the Halcanes pass Jaguar's hiding place, he takes a large leaf and rolls it into a blowgun. He fires his darts at one fighter, then falls to the ground. His cries attract Middle Eye, who runs back and comes face to face with Jaguar. They sprint at each other, each eyeing the bludgeon that the deceased dropped. Middle Eye swings his solid stick as Jaguar barely manages to dodge, sustaining a mild blow to his head as he slides to the ground. He picks up the bludgeon and rises to strike him. Middle Eye calls him almost one last time as Jaguar kills him with a blow. When it suddenly begins to rain, Jaguar races into the forest to save his wife, knowing that it will soon fill with water. In his pursuit, enraged Zero Wolf outruns the other two warriors. Jaguar gets to the hole when he finds it filling with water and Seven in labor, screaming for him to hurry. An arrow narrowly misses Jaguar and he runs into the jungle. As Zero Wolf closes in, Jaguar stops at a specific spot in the forest that he recognizes and turns to face Zero Wolf, who shoots an arrow into his shoulder. Though wounded, Jaguar stands, waits, and watches. With his dagger drawn, Zero Wolf charges at him, unaware of a tripwire. Zero Wolf triggers the taper trap, impaling himself on its sharp spikes, and dies. The two remaining fighters chase Jaguar to the beach, where he collapses from exhaustion. Once they reach him, they cease gazing at the sea, where a small fleet of Spanish ships rests. Soldiers and missionaries are rolling to shore in small boats. Mesmerized fighters approach the shoreline while Jaguar raced back to his wife. He found out that she had just given birth and pulled his family out of the hole. Later, when the rain stops, Jaguar carries his newborn son followed by his wife and turtle. They look back at the Spanish ships and Seven asks if they should go there. But Jaguar says that they should instead go to the forest and seek a new beginning. Don't forget to like and subscribe to watch more of my videos like this.